all you listeners out there, if you ever want to be an advisor to the president, you know where to start.
Hit up DIA first.
Start doing some pranks. Yo, Jason, watch this.
Whoa, that is pretty sick. You're walking the dog with that thing, bro?
That was a walk the dog into a triangle symmetry right there.
With your yo-yo.
That's right.
Your G-Force branded yo-yo.
Yep, watch this.
Where'd you get that thing?
Doing some Eli hops right there.
Heck? How's that even possible?
Watch this. This is called the tsunami.
Tsunami? Whoa. Why the heck do you have a G-Force branded yo-yo?
Why the heck wouldn't I have a G-Force branded yo-yo? This is one of the only things. Jason, this is one of the only things I could find in the G-Force stock room.
We've been up here 6 weeks, watching the odd Gamera film, recording it, because, hey, we're Podzilla. I'm Jasha.
Hey, it's me, Micah.
It's you, Micah. And we're watching through every Gamera movie in order of release date at the moment and discussing it. But we've been stuck up here in the G-Force space station, exiled, you could say, for about 6 weeks, over a month. And I haven't seen you take that thing out of your palm for the last few weeks.
There's nothing else to do up here.
So you're becoming
There's nothing else.
a yo-yo pro.
I'm becoming a yo-yo pro. This one's called The Man on the Flying Trapeze and His Brother.
And the brother.
It's just like me and you.
There's no way that's a... Well, it does look like there's a brother there too. Wow. Flip. I wish you'd join me.
That's enough about me, though.
Yeah, I wish you'd join me in the kitchen, at least.
You've been in there for the past week. You haven't stepped out.
Dude, we were starving for a few days there. We thought we were out of supplies, but we realized that G-Force had stocked a whole pantry for us, almost like a MasterChef styled walk-in pantry. And
which is really thoughtful of them, to be fair. Thank you, G Commander.
Really thoughtful. The kitchen that's up here on this G-Force space station, the Chandler Maru. The Chandler Maru.
That's right, the Chandler Maru.
It's stacked, guys. So
I understand that you have a bit of trouble remembering when you can't see the name emblazoned on the exterior of the ship.
Yeah, exactly. But I've never been one to bake, never been one to cook, so I thought I'd take up a couple of the cookbooks they've stocked us up with. And I think I'm a whiz at this thing now.
You're a whiz?
I'm a whiz in the kitchen. You've been enjoying your dinners?
I have been.
Dude.
Wait, have you been making those?
Dude, this morning's omelette, bro.
That was you?
Yeah.
I just walk into the dining room and see a meal there. I thought that was an automated subroutine of the ship.
No. Well, what did you think of the omelette?
It was a freaking good omelette.
Yeah.
Best I've had.
Because most people chuck in an extra egg and use 3 eggs for their omelettes. Little do they know, the perfect omelette, 2 eggs. And then you don't add any milk for the density. You just add a little splash. Don't add too much. Just have a small little nice omelette.
Hold on. You don't add any milk for the density. You just add a splash.
You add a splash, but amateurs, use too much milk to try and make it a bit more dense, make the omelette bigger.
Okay.
They're using too much milk. And I should know, I'm a milk expert.
I am usually one to have a 4-egger.
2 eggs.
You tell me I want to halve that.
Yeah. Make 2 omelets if you want.
But any cheese?
Yeah, you can have some cheese. You had cheese this morning on yours. Yeah, a little bit of ham in there, a little bit of chives.
There was a little bit of chives. What else was there? There was one other mystery ingredient I couldn't quite place.
There was a little bit of...
Was it cilantro?
Chili. Chilies. Wasn't cilantro.
That's what gave it the kick.
Yeah.
It's all making sense now.
But yeah, I think I'm a cook now.
You think you're a cook now?
This is what G-Force has made me, a cook.
I think I'm a pro-yoa.
Pro-yoa. What is...
I'm a pro-yo.
Gamera versus Viras. Let's talk about this to take...
Speaking of yo-yos, let's swing this around the other way and talk.
Let me take my oven mitts off. Oven mitts off right now.
He's taking the mitts off.
I'm taking them off. Yeah, we're about halfway through the Gamera series, the Showa series, I should say, sorry. 4 movies deep. There's another 4 to go before we finish Gamera's Showa era. And Gamera vs. Viras is what we're going to be talking about today. Directed by Noriaki Yuasa. the director of the original, director of Gauss. He's back.
It feels good going through the Showa little era here. I feel like when we got to the Millennium era of Godzilla, that was real fun to tackle because there was quite a small amount of films to get through.
Was it like 6 movies or something?
Six movies. Same with the Heisei. It was a finite amount, whereas the Godzilla Showa movies they felt like an endless mountain.
It didn't help that we were adding
50 Americanizations on top of everything.
on top of all the adjacents. I miss the adjacent movies, man. We're going to find some Gamera adjacent movies and just chuck them in.
We'll do it. But having this like small amount, this finite amount of Gamera movies where you can see the finish line, it's made me a little bit more excited about the journey here. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because as we said in our like season opener mini episode, we're going to be doing the Showa era Gamera series, its own little journey, then the Heisei era Gamera series, then we're going to be doing the Daimajin series, then the Yokai Monsters series, and it is pretty cool just to have these 4 little journeys we can go on throughout the remainder of the season, remainder of the year. I'm having a blast.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, is there any news this week? No news.
No news.
You've been too busy yo-yoing.
No, haven't been able to get a good signal from here out in space. Maybe next week.
The news this week is you learnt the trapeze and the man and his brother.
That's true. I also learnt the throwdown.
The throwdown.
Real basic technique, that one. I can teach you.
Yeah, I'd love that. Maybe after the episode, you can teach me the throwdown. It sounds a bit too similar to your suplex, to be honest. I'm glad you're not doing those anymore.
No. Wrestling is a thing of the past. That was last week.
Yo-yoing's the next big thing. Anyway, I mean, should we get straight into Gamera versus Viras? Do you want to do us the honor?
Let us jump in. Two Boy Scouts, Masao and Jim, are infamous for their reputation as pranksters. And after weaseling their way into the opportunity to pilot a new submarine, they become embroiled in a conflict between the Virians, evil aliens looking to claim Earth as their own, and Gamera, friend to all children and guardian of the planet. With the nations of Earth torn between surrendering to the alien force or fighting back against a mind-controlled Gamera and the evil squid overlord Viras, it's up to the two Boy Scouts to try and prank their way into saving the human race.
Whoa, they do indeed try to prank their way.
I love how everybody far and wide talks about these two boys who are always up to their pranks.
They pull some pranks on a submarine, go back to the Boy Scouts, and the Boy Scout leader's like, well, you're not getting any dinner because you're the two best pranksters we got here. Then everyone just starts cracking up, hundreds of Boy Scouts cracking up about these two.
Everyone says that they have to use their pranks to save the world, though. Spoilers, they don't do any pranks when they're abducted on the spaceship in this movie.
They prank.
What prank do they do?
They switch around little controls.
That's a prank?
That's a little joke.
That's not a joke.
That's just one step removed from switching accelerator and reverse is moving two triangles in a alien spaceship.
You tell me when I go from park to reverse in my car, I'm pranking the system.
That's a sick prank. Get pranked, bro. Yeah, what did you think about these two? We're introduced to them early in the movie. Little Jim and Masao.
Yeah, this movie is quite fun because I feel like in the past two movies, we haven't focused in on the children as the protags of the movie.
They've been the subplots.
Yep. Whereas this one, Jim and Masao, they're the leading men.
And Kojiro Hongo's in this again. He's been acting in the previous two movies, usually our leading man. He's in this as Scoutmaster Mr. Shimida.
Mr. Shimida.
But he takes the back seat this time around.
Yeah.
For these two plucky little weaselly pranksters.
I feel for this guy. He's probably been told like, yo, you want to sign on for another Gamera film? He's like, yes, I'll jump at the chance. Half the time he's just running on a beach. He's got a cool fit though. So this movie centers around this little Boy Scout camp.
Yep.
And all of them are looking fine in these little shorts. I wish I had pants like Jim does here.
I wish you were wearing pants, to be honest.
I wish I had pants like Jim does.
Please.
They're all in their ascots and their little ranger hats.
Yeah.
It's looking great.
And the whole movie is pretty much just set on this little Boy Scout camp on the beach.
Yeah, and the adjacent, I want to say laboratory.
Yeah, just the average little laboratory. Every beach has one.
Yeah. And they wail away their days by playing guitar around the campfires and sneaking into these government facilities.
To do pranks.
Like changing. Oh, it gets me in every single movie when they.
What do you mean?
When they make out reversing the polarity.
Yeah.
To be as easy as they do.
Whoa, well, this isn't anything as complicated as the polarity. They're just switching the reverse with the accelerator. Everyone knows it's just two wires. You disconnect them, connect them the opposite way. Have you ever tried that? Do you know if that's how it works?
No.
You ever taken apart your gearbox?
No.
Should we go outside and do it right now?
But the idea that no matter what the machine is, you switch around two wires and it instantly does the reverse of it.
Yeah, that's how it works, Micah.
Let me take my refrigerator here. Let me switch these wires and turn it into a microwave.
That's not what they do. That's not what they do.
It does.
No.
Whatever the machine is intended for, it does the opposite.
Yeah. And I mean, their first prank, which is making the submarines reverse and acceleration opposite.
It is a fun prank.
It's a fun prank. But the thing I don't get is when the scientists are then like, whoa, hey.
Dr. Dobie? Are we talking about Dr. Dobie?
Is that his name?
That's his name.
Dr. Dobie comes out on the beach and he's like, hey, 100, 200 Boy Scouts. Every one of you are going to have a chance to be in the submarine. Let me go for a test drive with Scoutmaster Shimita. They go down. Dr. Dobie's like, whoa. Directions are swapped around. If I go forward, I reverse. If I reverse, I go forward. And it throws him off so much that he's crashing into the rocks and he's like sinking down to the depths of the ocean. Dr. Dobie, just go back if you want to go forward, bro. Because the kids go down after him. They just go back when they want to go forward and they're fine. This dude's just thrown so off.
I think we as the audience forget that Dr. Dobie here has a doctorate. He is a scientist.
He's got underwater vertigo. Well, not even that. He's got like some other thing that like if a directions, it's like being OCD, but it's just
dyslexia.
Specifically for directions. It's if I get directions wrong, if a direction gets thrown off, your whole world crumbles.
He's got nothing against Maceo here, who apparently has become like Inspector Gadget, creating this little wristwatch piece that he can communicate with his sister with. Tells him the exact location of each other at all times.
Jokes aside, I quite like these two kids. I think I like them more than the previous two kids. I think we're getting better kids as the movies go on.
True. That's a bold claim to make, Jasha.
These guys' outfits?
What do you have to back it up, their outfits?
Yeah, they're two. Okay, I have their outfits. Number one.
Is this a three-pronged?
Dude, we'll see how many prongs.
Make it four-pronged. I dare you to come up with four prongs.
This is the omelette ingredients all over again, but okay. Their outfits. You have to agree. They've both got separate, distinct outfits that I kind of wish we made our podcast artwork, me and you in these outfits.
I do too after watching this.
Iconic.
The fact that they're both Boy Scouts, but they found ways to give them distinct outfits that look really cool.
Yep.
Great stuff.
Banter, number 2. Great banter between them. When they're yelling at Gamera to do something, it's not just one kid yelling Gamera over and over again. I'm looking at you, Toshio. It's two kids. One of them saying Gamera do something in Japanese. The other one saying Gamera do something in English. You know, you get some diversity.
They're both saying, okay.
Okay.
Every sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3. Just the best parents. Do you see Jim's mum when she shows up looking like a Simpsons character?
Yeah. They're like, hey, here's Miss... This is when the hostage negotiations are taking place, right?
Yes.
We have Maceo's dad here and Jim's father and mother here. Jim's dad comes out. Maceo's dad comes out. Then Jim's mother comes out.
And she's like, oh, Jim, oh, Jim, oh, Jim, oh, Jim, oh, Jim, oh, Jim,
This
oh, Jim.
Miss Frizzle looking.
You'll remember her for years to come.
I probably will, actually.
Majority of this movie, her. Right, that's number 3. Number 4 for these kids.
Number 3, Jim's mum.
These kids are pranksters. That's something I'm saying is that's going for them. They're pranksters. Tell me one cool thing about Toshio other than the fact he loves turtles.
Toshio. I'm I can't.
Tell me one
That's
other
his
thing
entire
about
character.
Ichi other than the fact that he loves Gamera.
He's got a cool yellow hat.
These kids have hobbies. These kids are fully formed. We know they're Boy Scouts. We know a little bit about their parents. We know that they're pranksters.
Yeah. Masayo's super into his technology, harkening back to how he created the wristwatch.
Jim's a little photographer.
Jim's a photographer. And it's real. He actually uses his camera. He brings around the whole movie, which is great. I love it when characters have some tactile object like that to bring around the whole movie. But he, at various points, uses his camera. When they see Gamera first underwater, and it's not just like this one-off thing he does. They actually mention it when he brings back his Polaroid to the Scoutmaster.
Yeah.
To try and prove that they did in fact see Gamera. And there's no lighting down there under the ocean, so they get reprimanded for it, but they find ways to make it part of the storyline, which is pretty cool.
And his lassoing skills? Lasso?
And his lasso.
Lasso?
This guy's got the best aim in the world.
See those scenes when he's lassoing the hat?
You see the scenes where he's lassoing the alien's hand?
It's fully ripping off.
He's bar none.
Yeah.
So no one better.
So these kids, you'll have to agree with me.
I do, but just for posterity, can you give me one more prong?
Fifth prong? They've got some good taste in food. I like food. I'm a cook. I'm a professional cook.
You can vouch for
I'm
them.
a professional chef. I can vouch. These dudes wanting food, wanting sandwiches, wanting fruit.
They do, actually.
Yeah.
I forgot about the whole sandwich scenes.
Can
Yeah.
you tell me Toshio's favorite food?
No.
Exactly. See?
Yeah. There's some great stuff
Relatable.
up in the spaceship here.
Yeah.
Does this spaceship have a name? Because this spaceship, we're introduced to it right at the start of the movie, and it almost seems like it is an alien from the start.
Yeah, it's really cool. And again, very reminiscent of like Star Trek, the original series type stuff, which I love.
Yes.
We've got the kids pranking around the place. We've got this spaceship coming into Earth, and it's a real cool looking spaceship. This one we do have in our podcast artwork, the yellow and black, multiple circles connected up with like an inner ring. Pretty cool. And the spaceship is coming in, looking at Earth. We hear some voiceover of an alien being like, "Whoa, this planet's very similar to ours. We want to take it over and breed on it, our own race." Something like that. You can quote me.
Did they say
You can quote me.
Sweet.
And then Gamera appears, destroys the spaceship number 1. So then spaceship number 2 comes in, and spaceship number 2 is like, okay, we need to deal with the Gamera problem. And I really like the mystery around these aliens, because just like you were saying, it seems like the spaceship itself is talking early on. We don't see any alien or anyone in the ship piloting it or anything.
And I want to say, when it's talking about populating or taking over the Earth at the start there, when it starts getting destroyed by Gamera, it mentions, hey, we have to go communicate with our mother star, Viras.
Yeah, Viras, the mother star.
So there's some aspect there of the ships being cognizant of what's happening. But the fact that it seems like Viras is a ship as well as the big space monster heading up the title of this film.
Because it's revealed later on when our 2 pranksters get abducted, held for ransom, because the alien is like, whoa, Gamera loves children. Gamera's only weakness is children. If we kidnap children, Gamera can't do anything about it. So they kidnap these 2 pranksters. It's hardly a kidnapping. They let them have as much food as they want, let them wander around the ship as much as they want. But to the kids, they just look like normal dudes wearing these black costumes, berets.
Jumping. I love how they play around with like acrobatics and seemingly anti-gravity here.
The spaceship's really cool. They're like weird automatic doors, and then the corridors that they seemingly just like fly through.
I love when you have huge spaceship sets like this.
Yeah, they made it real unique. But then also revealed on the ship, and the kids find him, is that there's some squid-like looking alien thing in a cage, is what they think.
They think it's like a lion. It could be potentially dangerous, but it's probably just a prisoner here as well, just like them.
Yeah, and then it's actually later on revealed that alien thing, Viras,
That's Viras.
is the boss of the ship. He's like the ship's pilot.
I don't know why he was in a cage.
And I think that's what these ships are, right? Every ship presumably has one of these squid things piloting it, and that's what was speaking in the first spaceship. We just never saw him.
The implication is there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What did you think of Viras?
Viras is a funny little guy.
Yeah.
When looking at the lineup of Gamera baddies, he's always been the one that stood out to me as looking a little funky. I think it might be his nose and his eyes.
I think it's cool that it doesn't start out being like, whoa, he's this huge kaiju. It's just an alien race that look like this that grows huge at the end.
He's this squid with, he starts out in a human costume, so he has actual legs for tentacles and then 4 more around his body. He's got his eyes, he's got his nose, and he's got this like
banana peel
head, which you find out later can come to a point and stab. I think the design looks a little bit awkward, but you got to give them credit for giving the monster some aspects like that, where you can use them in creative ways to have dynamic fights with Gamera and these kaiju with.
Because it doesn't just use them to come to like a point; he also uses them to steady himself, kind of like a tripod on the rocks.
Yeah. Very functional kaiju.
Yeah, I love the Viras design. It looks awkward. You can definitely see where the 2 suit actors' feet are and what bits of the tentacles. But they're able to deploy a lot of real classic like kaiju maneuvers with them. You can tell that they're using strings to maneuver his tentacles around, but then later on you have practical tentacles grabbing and wrapping around Gamera. All the underwater sequences with Viras are really, really cool. I thought it was great. And the other thing I really loved is the humans, or when they're looking more humanoid, the aliens on the ship. There's the scenes when the lights go out, you see the human silhouettes, but then they've got the eyes of Viras almost, all of them.
Yeah.
Looks so creepy, and the practical effects actually look great.
I'd love to get little glasses or prosthetics that look like that.
That blink when you talk.
It's real fun.
Yep.
I also really enjoyed just the other aspects of these 2 kids on the spaceship. The fact that, they're going around and finding out that the ship operates on telepathy, which, whether it is telepathy or not, all of us nerds can argue about it, but they find this little oven, fridge, dispenser type thing where if they mention
anything in the water,
if they say it's voice operated.
Telepathy, always voice operated,
If they say any food item, it gives them some food. They're talking about how they're just really missing some juice right now. And lo and behold, 2 cups of juice, better than any they've tasted in Japan.
And then they get a bit clever. And they're like, well, let's get guns so we can kill all these aliens.
Guns and parachutes.
Guns and parachutes. They get denied. And then they even try and get a bit cleverer than even that. They're like, well, okay, I know how we can get a weapon. We can ask for fruit, but we don't want it to be cut. We don't want it to be peeled because, of course, they'll have to give us a knife if they give us an apple. Right? Of course.
Everybody does.
Everyone.
So let's ask for apples. Make sure that they're not peeled.
No one just eats an apple in their hand with no knives, But then the ship one-ups them and just gives them a bowl of peeled, nicely cut apple slices. Yeah.
Those apple slices look good.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say, if you remember back to the days of McDonald's, did you ever get those like little apple slice packets?
I had McDonald's this morning. What are you talking about?
Back to the old days. I don't know if do they still have the little apple slices?
I think so. In the Happy Meals.
I'm going to go tomorrow after work.
Should we go through after this? Even though we're in space right now. The space drive-through.
The space drive-through, yeah.
And be like, hey, McDonald's, can we have apple slices, but not cut?
Not cut.
Not peeled.
Packaged, but a whole apple.
And
please,
we don't put a knife in there. We don't even have to ask for the knife because, of course, they'll give it to us.
Yeah, that's the assumption that all people make.
I loved this whole side of the movie. It did feel very childish. Like, it felt very akin to All Monsters Attack from the Godzilla series with Ichiro.
I got to say, like, even over time, my feelings have become a lot more warmer towards that movie.
Me too.
And it's almost become like a standard of kaiju media now to have just fun little sequences with kids messing around and trying to one-up the villains.
Yeah, I think if I revisited All Monsters Attack, I think I'd probably love it a whole lot more than I think we did when we reviewed it on the show, rated a bit more highly. But I found myself really enjoying those aspects of this one. Like, it's not Gamera versus Gauss. It's not Gamera versus Baragon. It's not like even as bloody and brutal with the fight scenes. It is a little bit, but it's not as dark. It's not, the human plot lines aren't as convoluted as those ones are. It's just two pranksters being abducted by aliens.
Yeah. Whereas some of the films like Baragon had this kind of globe-trotting adventure
Of betrayal and greed. And
yeah, this movie feels a lot more contained to like the 2 or 3 locations that the movie covers.
yeah, and I can kind of look past it for that because I did have a really fun time following these two kids around.
The thing though, Jason.
Yeah, the thing can't look past.
The elephant in the room that we have to talk about is the fact that this movie, kind of like All Monsters Attack, ends up being a clip show for a good portion of it.
At least in All Monsters Attack, they break up the clip show a bit, break up the reuse footage. This is like, here you go, 20 minutes of footage from the previous Gamera movies. And it's so funny because the way they explain it in the movie is that the aliens...
The Virians.
The Virians?
The Virians.
Virians. They have just enough time to capture Gamera to watch a 20-minute clip show, pretty much, of his memories. They have just enough time to watch this footage.
And right after they watch the footage, they start mind controlling him.
Yeah.
And so you go from watching all his memories of his great fights against all the other kaiju.
They edited together the fights to make it look like one continuous fight with all the fight scenes from the movie.
It was quite well done for a clip show, I must say.
Yeah.
But right after that, they pop a mind control device on him and then cut to all the footage from the first Gamera film of him destroying all the human settlements and attacking Tokyo.
And the dam from Baragon, I think, as well.
Yeah. So you get all the segments of him being savior to the Earth.
Monster.
Yeah, monster v monster, savior of the Earth to antagonist of the Earth. And I got up and made a coffee.
Yep.
That's a great time to try and make your own apple slices. Grab a knife, peel them yourself.
Practice a yo-yo tricks if you got a yo-yo on hand. That was a huge bummer that like it felt like half of this movie was just stuff we'd seen before. And it's real awkward because it doesn't work either. Obviously, the first Gamera film is in black and white. So they're cutting to black and white footage, but they've given it a slight blue tinge.
Yeah.
They've just changed the hue a little bit to make it look like it fits in with the color movies that we're watching now. But it's obviously older footage. Gamera looks so different.
I felt like it was... I don't want to say I've been desensitized to clip shows, but I feel like for the movie that so far is the most child-centered and more aimed towards a younger audience, I would say.
Yeah.
If I brought my non-existent kid, which I don't yet have, along to this movie,
yes,
I feel like they would enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't seen all the other previous movies, and maybe even if they had, I feel like the clip show segments would still be engaging to younger viewers.
That's the interesting thing, because I remember like being a kid as well and just being obsessed with fight scenes, whether it be like a Marvel movie or like a monster movie. When you see, like, I'd probably just watch clips of Godzilla versus the monsters over and over again. Like, you'd look up YouTube battles and just watch the fight scenes. So kids would live for this type of thing, just seeing their favorite monsters going head to head. Like, they'd probably just love revisiting the fights.
But on the other hand, as older viewers now, and especially as people who have just watched all the previous Gamera films.
Older, wiser, well-versed.
Yeah, more well-versed. It sticks out like a sore thumb, especially because we've just seen these fights.
Yeah.
Can you imagine with me here, how interesting it would be if movies nowadays started doing clip shows?
Yeah. Imagine a clip show being released in the year 2024.
And just playing it totally straight. It's not done weirdly. Like, there's just straight up clips of previous films inserted into the film. Imagine if the new Mission Impossible,
Dead Reckoning
Part 2, which I hear isn't the name they're going forward with anymore. Halfway to the movie, the villains abduct Ethan
Hunt.
Ethan Hunt, that's his name. I was going to say Ethan Hawke. Pop some probes on his brain and go, oh, Ethan Hunt, let's see how sneaky you really are. Clip show to all of his crazy escapades of the past 6 or 7 films.
Yeah. Or it's even worse than that, because this is like the 4th Gamera movie. Like it's like something like the new Avatar number 3 coming out in theaters. And it's just like, okay, here's what happened to Jake Sully in the last 2 movies.
Yeah. A Quiet Place Part 3. Let's harken back to the days of Quiet Place 1 on the farm.
And you know what? I don't know.
What are the memories of your dad? Think back to your father, Jim from The Office.
Jim from The Office. The thing is, I don't know if I'd hate it. Like,
it'd be weird purely because of the fact that it hasn't been done recently.
It'll be so weird, but it's something like I could see Disney Plus chucks up something when the new Marvel movie comes out, and it's like,
oh, it's for sure a Disney thing.
Yeah,
right?
like it's a streaming thing where you get Falcon, who's now Anthony Mackie, who's now going to be Captain America. It's like you just get him training to be Captain America while he's revisiting Captain America's best moments. He's remembering his friend Steve.
Yeah.
It's just weird to think of something like that coming out.
Yeah.
Because it would probably make money if someone made a clip show of a popular franchise, but it would severely kind of ruin everyone's love of that franchise, I feel.
Yeah. If it were done nowadays, even though it probably would help financially, having to cut that much time out of a movie and not worry about it, it hurts the image. It would hurt the image so much.
Listeners, let us know. Is there a franchise you would love to see a modern day clip show for?
I'm very curious.
Because what's interesting as well is like these two Gamera films we just watched, Gauss and then Viras.
Baragon.
Yeah, but even just the last two, they came out a year apart from one another. Like if you went to the movies and saw...
I think all these movies have been 1 year after the other.
Exactly. So I don't know if it will be as bad watching them a year apart and then be like, oh, I remember those battles from the last Gamera movie instead of us watching them weeks apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing.
It's weird.
It's an interesting thing. And I think we get more of it in the Gamera series. I hear Gamera Super Monster has a lot of clip show bits in it.
Even more. They're
Even
doubling
more.
down.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So that was a shame that so much of this movie was just stuff we'd seen before. But there was a lot of it new. There was one really cool fight scene at the end, Gamera versus Viras. Cool battle when all the Virases combine together. Viras grows so big that he breaks out of the spaceship, fights Gamera on the beach. Beach fight.
Love beach fights.
Reminded you of Ibra?
Reminded me of Top Gun Maverick.
Yo, Viras and Gamera playing volleyball, wrestling on the sand.
Viras does actually feel like the Ibra equivalent almost.
Yeah.
You have some real dynamic portions in here. Like you said, when Viras is half in the water, using his head peels to grapple onto the rocks and steady himself.
So that he can like almost try and strangle Gamera with his tentacles.
Yeah, I gotta say here, Jasha, Gamera gets owned in this fight. There's no way he survives at the end.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't... Like, they go at it for a bit on the sand. Viras is chucking bits of the spaceship at Gamera. Gamera is getting hit by them at first and he uses his flame breath to blow them up, and then they take it to under the ocean. And Viras is, like, clearly winning for a lot of that fight while he's pulling Gamera with his tentacles. And then they take it back to the beach. And on the beach, Viras pulls out these attacks where he puts his head to a point, tries to stab at Gamera. He misses a few times.
Then we get a jet ski moment. I forgot about the jet ski.
Yeah, the jet ski moment.
For like 30 seconds, Gamera is just riding Viras on the ocean.
Yeah.
Looking like David Hasselhoff.
Great moment. Great moment. I can hear the Chariots of Fire music coming in now for this whole fight, to be honest. But then Viras hits Gamera square right through his torso. Almost like stabs him the whole way through his body with the point of his head.
Yeah, I feel like you're not even doing it justice. Viras impales Gamera.
Yep.
5 times over. Pierces through his total shell. There's no coming back from this.
Yeah. Yep. He then picks him up and then smashes the shell against the rocks.
Man.
While he's still going through him. And goes even deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Viras pulls an Iron Man.
Yeah, he does.
Gamera
pulls an Iron Man.
Gamera pulls an Iron Man.
And takes him so high up in the air, turns Viras to ice, freezes him over.
Yeah.
Then drops him into the ocean.
Which kills him somehow.
Viras instantly dies and Gamera is just free. Guardian of the Earth, flying off into the sunset. What happened to this huge hole he has through him?
I hope they harken back to it at some point. There's scarring on his chest or something.
He should be dead. Gamera should not have survived that.
Here's my headcanon.
Yeah.
Gamera's anatomy is kind of like a donut.
Oh, so like how Gauss had 2 separate spines.
Yep. Gamera's internal organs are shaped like a donut, so there's nothing in the middle of his total shell.
No turtle meat in the turtle shell.
Not in the middle. No.
I'd probably rather risk being frozen over and dropped into the ocean than having a hole drilled through my torso.
Yeah. I mean, the fact, if the roles were reversed, if Gamera found a way to fully impale Viras, he'd be dead. If the antagonist did something crazy like bring Gamera up into the air and then drop him into the water, he'd still be survive. It's literally just the plot armor.
It's plot armor. And I don't know if we can stand for it.
No.
I don't know if we should just
We
look
need to
the other
take a
way.
stand.
We need to take a stand. It was a cool fight, though. It's a cool fight.
It'd make for a good scene in a clip show. I'll say that.
It would. We probably will see it again. Let's wait. Should we go into some trivia?
Yeah, have you got any trivia for me?
I do. I've got quite a bit for this movie. Okay, to start us off, the American version, the US cut of this movie, was titled Destroy All Planets. And the reason they called it Destroy All Planets
There was
instead of...
only one planet in this film.
Was it destroyed?
No. This is the Destroy All Monsters all over again.
Yeah, well, exactly. They decided to name it Destroy All Planets instead of Gamera versus Viras.
Okay.
Because Ashiro Honda's Destroy All Monsters did so well, and they were like, hey, that people like Destroy All Monsters, they liked the name, let's name our movie similar, Destroy All Planets.
I actually really like that idea of a competitor company looking at a film like this and say, yeah, this is all about kids and clip shows. Let's do the same thing.
Yeah. And the director of this movie, Noriaki Yuasa, says that this is his personal favorite of all the films he's made. He said that he loves that it's just a pure children's movie. And he loves it for that. It's his favorite Gamera film.
I gotta give the guy some credit there. I'm kind of with him on it.
Whoa, okay.
I don't want to, no, it's not my favorite Gamera film, to be sure. But there is something about it being more child-focused that, I don't know, it fits with the theme of Gamera being like hero to all children on the earth.
You are able to get sequences of like the kids in a submarine just being like, whoa, do you think we could swim under Gamera? Do you think we could swim around Gamera?
For the heck
There's
of it?
Just minutes of them just like having a
To
fun
the Gamera
time.
theme song?
Yeah. The Gamera
the theme song is in this one.
It's been updated.
Gamera. Do-do-do.
Yeah,
great.
it's great. It's great. So you do get a whole lot of those like childlike fun moments that you probably couldn't get in the other entries in the franchise. But it's also really funny because I feel like if you're a director, you made a beloved franchise, but one of the movies was not as beloved as the others. One way to like get people to revisit it or maybe look upon it a bit more fondly would be like, oh, that's my favorite one.
Yeah,
that one
for
you guys
sure.
hate, that's my favorite one.
You think he's just doing this to get more traffic?
I don't know. It's funny. Chikara Hashimoto Micah, who we will see later on this year playing Daimajin, appears in this film as one of the Virians.
Can you tell me which one?
Could not tell you for the life of me. But we're seeing a little connection between the casts of these franchises.
That's fun. I will look back on this
Yeah.
movie fondly because of that.
So remember Gamera versus Viras when we're watching Daimajin? This is also the last Showa Gamera film to star Kojiro Hongo.
Oh.
So we talked about him earlier as being in the last few. He's the scoutmaster in this one. But it's the last Showa Gamera film to star him. And he appears later on for a small cameo almost in one of the Heisei movies.
Oh, it's going to be sad to see the guy hang up his scout patches.
Yeah.
Going to miss him.
Yeah. And then lastly, I just have a little bit here about one of our Boy Scouts, Jim, our favorite.
Jim.
He was played by Carl Craig, 11-year-old Carl Craig, and this is his only acting role.
Ever.
Yeah, he was only ever in this. He never really wanted to be an actor. And when he got old enough, he became a US Air Force pilot and then eventually became an advisor on the staff of the US president, who was George Bush at the time.
That is such a Jim thing to do.
Jim, the
awesome.
The Gamera to being like a presidential advisor pipeline.
The pipeline.
Yeah.
It's great. Wow.
Yeah. But that's me for trivia.
all you listeners out there, if you ever want to be an advisor to the president, you know where to start.
Hit up DIA first.
Start doing some pranks. Work your way up from there.
It's not the Gamera to US presidential advisor pipeline. It's the prankster.
Yeah.
Prankster to president.
Yeah.
Yeah, should I start us off?
Give it to me,
thoughts,
Jason.
We talked about it briefly, but I loved when the Viridians all turned into one Viras. The all Virians? The Virians? Turned into Viras?
Yep.
And to do that, Viras had to like decapitate their heads first.
Yeah, there's some cool like shots of, what was it? One of the Virians ended up like cutting off his arm.
Yeah, that arm shot as well.
Shoot at the kids.
It was pretty cool. I loved in the credits, they gave a special thanks to the Boy Scouts of Japan.
Yeah, those guys are doing some good work.
This one's for the boys. All the boys out there. All the boys. Yeah. I mean, overall, I had a fun time with this. And I think, I don't know if just being more entrenched and watching so many of these like Toho movies, Daiei movies coming out in the Showa era of Japan, just like you said before, I don't know if I'm become a bit more lenient or lovable towards these a bit more low budget, bit more child focused entries into the franchises. But I genuinely had a good time with this. And I think there is a different cut to this movie, which does cut out a whole lot of the clip show elements.
Right, okay.
So I'll be interested if I ever revisit this film. I might give that one a watch instead of the cut that we watched for this episode. But yeah, I think it has some fun monster stuff. I really enjoyed the pranks that these two kids get up to. Again, all the stuff in space and with the spaceship, I think it was some genuinely cool production design elements that went into the design of it, even if it is probably like one room for the spaceship that they use for all the spaceship's rooms. They're just walking from one room back into the room.
One room.
Back again. Yeah, I had a good time with this. I'm going to, if I was a Boy Scout underneath Scoutmaster Shimida and I was getting up to some pranks, me and you were getting up to pranks.
Yeah, if we're pranking,
we go back to see Shimida and it feels like, hey, boys, you've pranked too much these times. I'm going to have to cut down your dinner portions. Usually, sometimes, Scoutmaster Shimida, usually he'll go, okay, half portion today, boys. But you know what? I think the portion he would give us for this one, if there was like a
portion he's taken away or the portion he's giving us remaining?
The portion remaining would be 3.5 out of 5. Like 5 being the whole portion, 3.5 out of 5.
So he's taken away 1.5 fifths.
Yes.
Taking away 3/10 of your
dinner,
portion.
Of my portion of dinner. Scoutmaster, please, come on.
I don't think the reference you're making makes sense from the movie we just watched. But okay, I'll fly with you on this one.
What are you talking about? The Scoutmaster in this, he talked about dinner portions about 3 or 4 times.
Not portions. He didn't say anything about portions.
He said half portion. Am I getting mixed up with Star Wars The Force Awakens?
1/4 portion.
Nah, portions. Come on. How many do you think, because of your pranks, how many do you think you're getting for dinner?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more mischievous than you. I want to say that the Scoutmaster is cutting away 2/5 of my portion, giving me 3/5 remaining.
He's taking away 2/5 and giving you 3/5 remaining?
Yes. Leaving me with 3/5 of my portion.
Because he's taken away 2/5?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
What have you done?
No, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm giving this movie 3 out of 5.
You're giving it 3 out of 5?
Yeah.
So you did genuinely like it as well?
Oh, yeah. I think that it does suffer a little bit from the clip show, but like all the other aspects of it are fantastic. I think Viras is kind of fun, even if awkward-looking antagonist and kaiju to have. Really cool fight scene at the end there. Brutal, which has become like a staple for Gamera nowadays. Yeah. It's fun. But the other elements as well, like the relationship between Masao and Jim is fantastic. There's this oh my gosh.
A dinner portion, yes.
There's this scene near I want to say the latter half of the movie when the Japanese government is calling up the United Nations and they're trying to figure out their hostage situation. And Masao's sister gets in touch with him with his little watch, and she's telling them how they might have to surrender or they might have to shoot down the spaceship. And instantly Masao and Jim are like, no, sacrifice us. We don't care about us. We care about the human race. We care about Gamera. They're so eager to do the right thing and lay down their own lives, which is just awesome for kids to do. Like, don't take me out of context. That's not awesome for kids to do.
To sacrifice their lives.
To sacrifice their lives.
Yeah.
But to have some protagonists so easily do something like that for the good of the human race, that's just cool. Makes me like them even more.
Yeah, it was a cool moment.
And I don't know, I always like big spaceships and sci-fi elements, and the fact that this is the first time in the Gamera franchise that we're getting like a set alien race. I think the Virians are a real cool addition to the lore and the universe for doing that.
So much more interesting, like visually, I think, than a lot of the other Showa Godzilla alien races that we got that look just like humanoids with a little twist. I love the added element that they're like these squid aliens wearing human skins.
Yeah, you can see their eyes coming through. Their appendages are being chopped off in every scene.
Yeah.
They're using like anti-gravity to get around. They already feel so much more fleshed out than a lot of the things we've seen in the Godzilla franchise.
Yeah.
Virians, you're up there. You're up there.
I agree.
So yeah, 3/5 of my dinner portion.
3 out of 5 from you. 3.5 out of 5 from me.
Yep. I'm gonna make it easier for you, Jasha.
Okay.
If I was making an omelet with 5 eggs, I'd chuck away 2 of them. I'd just use 3.
You use 3, and I'm going to use 3 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5.
Let's stop talking about portions.
Okay, just get numbers out of here. Let's go to our messages from our listeners, eh? I'll start off with a message from Reese. Reese says, "Hello, Podzilla. Apologies for contacting you the old-fashioned way, but I have yet to catch up to the modern era, and I have no social media, no Letterboxd account."
Did he fax us?
He emailed us.
Okay.
No Letterboxd account, and honestly, I don't know how Discord works. But I'm a new fan of your podcast. I work the overnight shift at a grocery store, so passing the time listening to hour-plus episodes where interesting people say interesting things about movies I love is great. Your most recent episode, Gamera vs. Gauss, reminded me a lot of why I loved the Showa Gamera movies. I enjoy the way you work so many different topics into a discussion about a single movie. I don't know of any other podcast that could include diversions into Planet of the Apes in an episode about Gamera and have it feel so natural and fun. I know you probably get a lot of, will you cover this thing, blank, will you cover blank questions, and that you probably hate them, but I wonder if you've ever heard of or would ever consider talking about a tokusatsu series called Warrior of Love Rainbow Man.
Oh,
it was produced by Toho in the early 1970s on a shoestring budget, stars a 17-year-old boy as a Buddhism-fueled superhero, and features Akihiko Hirata wearing a terrible wig and obviously having a great time as the main series villain. I've done a human-supervised machine translation of a magazine special about the series on my blog if you want more information on it. And the blog is tombonthemoon.blogspot.com. This is not really relevant as you seem to have moved past the Showa era of Toho films and series, but I'm also just going to throw out here that I have a fan blog for Akihiko Hirata, and I would love nothing more than for the ridiculous amount of research I put into writing articles for it to provide some interest or entertainment for somebody somewhere. The blog's called Your Friendly Neighborhood Akihiko Hirata Fan Blog. Sorry if this is all coming off weird. My social skills died with COVID. Reese. Thanks for your email, Reese.
I will say, if anyone, and I genuinely mean this, if anyone we've covered on the show so far deserves a fan blog, Akihiko would be right up there.
Yeah. I really, really want to watch Warrior of Love Rainbow Man. I remember seeing a bit about the series back when we did our Go God Man, Go Green Man episode. I think this was released at a similar time. But I never knew Akihiko Hirata was the series villain for it. And it makes me really want to give it a go.
It's so good. Apparently, Rainbow Man is about a 7-phased superhero, wrestler, imbued with powers.
Whoa.
The 7-phased part intrigues me.
Yeah. And honestly, if you guys have anything you'd love for us to cover on the show at some point, we don't get sick of the emails or the questions. Like, we need to do something with the show after this season. Hopefully, Podzilla will continue. So yeah, if you have any ideas or anything you'd love to cover, we'll put Warrior of Love Rainbow Man on the list because I think that'll be really, really fun. And yeah, I'll chuck links to Reese's blogs in the episode description. So make sure you check them out. I'm looking forward to giving them a read. We have another Letterboxd review here from Nelbus. Nelbus says, Really nice of them to show us that all the other Gamera movies look way better than this one. Worth the obnoxiousness for Big Squidward versus Huge Turtle doing the rough and tumble for 10 minutes. Though looking at all those bloodshot eyes, I kind of feel like they were both hitting the Zaza together between takes. The girlie picked this one because the poster was funny. 1.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I feel like it's less Dr. Doby and more Dr. Doobie for this one.
Honestly, did you see Gamera's eyes when he attacked the spaceship at the start? His head breaks through and it's just red and veiny. What's going on, Gamera?
All around.
What's going on?
We have an email here from G. Kira. This film marks the start of the downhill trend of the Showa Gamera series. Gone is the fun and fast plot of Gamera vs. Gyaos, and instead we get this meandering story following two Boy Scouts as they wander around an alien spaceship and do very little to make the movie interesting. Unfortunately, this is a plot formula Dice seems to stick with for the rest of the Showa era. Another egregious sin is the terrible use of stock footage in the film. We're used to seeing quick cuts of beam weapons or explosions reused, like in the Godzilla series, but here they take whole clips from previous films, and the director's cut and US extended cut add in even more. Viras itself is badly designed. Unlike the menacing appearances of Baragon and Gyaos, Viras just looks goofy and dumb. The monster fight isn't the greatest either. It lacks the choreography of the Gyaos fight and suffers from an even more reduced budget. I do always laugh at the parts where all of humanity agrees to surrender to save the boys' lives, and Gamera getting skewered, an injury that would clearly kill any creature. With this film being by far the worst Gamera film so far, I can't give it any higher than 1 yellow submarine out of 5.
1 out of 5. I have to agree, like, that part's so good. You mentioned it before when we were talking about it, but the part where humanity actually shows up for these two boys and are like, you're expecting them to just sacrifice them, but humanity's like, hey, we surrender.
Stupid decision.
Stupid, but it's kind of,
it's cool.
It's nice. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy, you know? I actually think...
Makes me feel proud of the human race.
Yeah, it makes me feel proud of humanity in that moment. I actually really like Viras' design, though. Like, I get that he looks weird, but I think the weirdness of all the effects in the spaceship, the weird way he looks compared to the others, it kind of dials up just the absurdity of it all for me. I think Baragon's my least favorite design so far. So there was some sort of like silicone sheen to him that made him just look fake. Whereas I think Gyaos and Viras have looked pretty cool.
That makes sense. I think it fits for Viras and his goofier looking design.
Goofier movie.
For the goofier movie in the bunch.
And then we've just got one more review here from Sir Bruce. Sir Bruce says, after Gamera vs. Gyaos, I was kind of excited to see where the series goes from here. My expectations weren't very high, but I still felt kind of disappointed. The new scenes aren't that bad. There's just so much reused footage from previous movies in this that it kind of ruins the whole experience for me. I give Gamera vs. Viras 1 piece of recycled footage out of 5. P.S. I would really love to see you guys cover Kaiju number 8 on the show at some point.
I've heard of this. This is the new anime that's come out.
Yeah,
right?
I knew there was a manga of it. The anime is in full swing right now, I think.
We're aware of it.
So it's on the list. We're adding it on the list, Sir Bruce. Man, it seems like people hate this movie. It seems like you guys hate Viras. But, you know, if anyone has to claim it as our own, as something worthwhile, it's going to be me and you, Podzilla, as well as Noriaki Yuasa, the director. If standing hand in hand with him.
If Gamera vs. Viras has 3 fans, it's us 3. If Gamera vs. Viras has 2 fans, it's because the director sadly passed away.
Yeah.
If it has 1 fan, it's because one of us have passed away.
Yeah.
If it has 0 fans, it's because Podzilla's ended.
It's because there's no... Humanity is just done for. Humanity didn't make the right decision. But yeah, that's the episode, guys. Thanks for listening to the show, showing up for it every single week. We really appreciate you guys interacting with us in the Discord. There's a link in the show notes for that, or sending in emails, just like you heard before. You can get your review or questions or thoughts or anything read out on the show if you email us, podzillapod@gmail.com. We'd really, really love to hear from you.
Hey, if there's ever a situation where humanity has to either sacrifice us two or try attack some alien force, we officially say that we're happy to be sacrificed. Don't worry about us. Save yourselves.
Oh, we're really saying that?
But like, we hope that you won't.
Yeah.
But like, we're happy to be sacrificed.
Okay. This is really exciting. Next episode, we're going to take a break from Gamera.
What?
We're taking a break.
What?
And just on the down low, please, listeners, please don't tell GeForce this, because I think we're supposed to be staying away from Godzilla-related content.
Yeah, they specifically said Godzilla films, but we're towing the line.
We're towing the line. I just don't want G Commander to catch wind of this at all. But yeah, we're missing Godzilla a little bit, and we're like, hey, we're Podzilla. It's in the name. We need to cover some Godzilla content from time to time. So next week, we're going to be covering the whole first season of Godziban. Micah, this is huge.
Now, in the past when we've covered some of these older puppet shows or action figure shows,
yes,
we've taken like big 10-hour chunks out of our lives.
We've done the whole series in one go, but we're going to split this up into seasons, I think, when we cover it.
How long is each season?
So there are 22 episodes in season 1 of Godziban, and it's about 2.5 hours all up.
I can work with that. We can all work with that.
There we go.
All of us listeners, you can work with that.
Yep. And they're all available on YouTube with English subtitles. The synopsis for season 1 of Godziban goes, follow the adventures of the 3 Godzilla brothers, Godzilla-kun, Manila, and Little, who live on Godzi Island alongside various other kaiju.
I'm really excited for this show. I think most of us will have heard, if you've been listening to the podcast, about like Gigan's family,
King Caesar's daughter,
Puppet Akihiko Hirata,
Bagan's first proper Godzilla appearance, the Matango.
The Matango are back. This show is host a whole variety of kaiju that are nice additions to the Godzilla universe rather than just having established characters already.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the adjacent movies we did cover early on were because a lot of those monsters appear in Godziban, which is this huge ongoing modern Godzilla show that's released, I think, weekly in Japan. It's being translated and uploaded and with English subtitles from time to time, but it's ongoing. It's super popular. I think in the modern episodes of Godziban, there's Zilla from Godzilla 98.
Oh, serious?
So they're getting real wild and creative with the monsters that are showing up in it. But yeah, we're going to cover season 1, which goes from the first episode, We Are the 3 Godzilla Brothers, to the last episode of season 1, Fly Towards the Future. And then we're also going to watch the Japanese-only special episode that caps off the season, Film the Dream.
Film the Dream.
But you can find a link to the first season, all the episodes we're going to be talking about in the show notes. So click through, give it a watch, even if it's an episode or two. We'd love to hear what you guys think, and tune in next week to hear us talk Godzilla again.
I want to say, Jason, you were wrong. Zilla does sadly not show up in Godziban, but Jirara, the female version of Zilla, does.
Pink Zilla.
It's
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the show. It gets crazy. It gets wild. All the connections it makes, everything that they make canon within this puppet, world of puppets.
And it'll be nice to tuck another ongoing show under our belt.
Yeah. So no Gamera next week. We're going on a bit of a break from it. We're going to cover Godzilla again, but we'll be back with the Showa era of Gamera after that. Anyway, Micah, we got a lot to get back to. This episode's taken a while to record. We really got to get back to the busyness of our lives up here on the Chandler Maru.
Jason, I got to walk the dog.
Oh, bro, I gotta go bake a cake. Urgent cake that needs to be baked.
Urgent cake.
Urgent cake business. You know how it goes.
I do know.
Yeah.
They pop up at the most inconvenient times.
They do. Yeah, the yeast makes it pop up at the most inconvenient times. See, I'm a baker. I'm a chef now. I know that what yeast does. Yeast. It is yeast, right?